Okay, welcome to Learn Finance Free. So let's talk about the carry arbitrage from the position perspective. Okay, so basically, you're going to calculate the overall position of all these three steps. So entering the contracts, borrowing from bank, and buy a specific asset. So pretty simple. If you enter into a contract, say the contract will be sell a specific underlying asset at a specific time t, that means that essentially you are shortening a forward contract. Okay, that's how finance is worded. It's a little bit strange because essentially you own the right, it kind of like a long. But in finance, we say that short because essentially we are going to sell the asset. Okay, so if you were sell, it's just short. And since it's not short right now, it's short in the future, so we can treat this as a short position, and that will be short forward. As simple as that. It's a forward contract and they're going to short. Very simple. And let's continue. If you are borrowing from bank, if you borrow from a bank, you essentially increase the cash flow, but the cash flow is is not your like it's not yours. Okay, you can use this cash flow, but essentially you're going to pay it back eventually. So this will be served as a kind of debt because you borrow money, you own someone else's money, so it's a kind of debt. So this way, you're going to add a certain debt, and things I treat position. I think normally we treat position from a asset point of view. So this will be a like a negative number. Okay, there will be a negative, say S0, because you borrow this amount of money, you're going to get a negative position of S0. What about you buy assets? You use the cash or cash flow that you borrow from a specific bank, you buy that asset, and that asset will be treated as the name suggests, asset. So really simple, you're going to plus a position of asset. So the overall position really depends on the short forward contract at the time 0. So let's just write the the overall position here. So overall position will be you short forward you plus the asset, so you buy the asset or long the asset, and you short the short the fund or short the cash. So what I'm going to say is like borrow the fund. And let's just make everything very, very super clear. Long forward, we're going to say the value of that specific contract at time 0. Why the time 0? Because the forward contract's value is constantly changing. And then we have to consider what is fair. So if you enter into a contract with someone else, there's you, there is the other guy. So these two guys enter into a contract. That's because everyone think it is fair. So if it is fair, the V0 should be 0. Because, you short forward, the other people will long the forward. You want to sell that asset, other people will buy that asset in a specific time. Why? They are going to enter the contract because it is fair. So at time zero, for both parties, it will be fair, so the value will be zero. So you can sort of treat this mathematically like this. So right now it's S0, okay? So if you borrow money, it's S0. And if you are not using continuous compounding, just like 1 or 2 years compounding, okay, so annually compounding, you got all the way to time t, you're going to repay this amount of money to the bank. And at that specific time, if you're going to sell the asset specific price will be exactly the same as this amount of money. So basically, if you are a investor, you can just borrow a specific amount of money and you invest that in I don't know, maybe in a bank or something like that. And then at that specific time in the future, this amount of money will be able to help you to fully cover and not a dime more, not a dime less of that specific price underlying right now. This is underlying assets price at time zero when you purchase it, and at exactly time t, the price will be this much. Okay, so basically, the underlying asset price will not change, but only reflect the time value of money or whatever risk. That's a whole another story of what kind of thing that involving this are. But right now, let's just treat this as a time value of money. Okay, so the underlying assets will only represent the changes, or only reflect the time value of money. So if it's fair, this two is the same, and the V0 will be 0. Okay? Really simple. And if it's not 0, we have a specific value for the forward contract. So, for example, we got like the 0 all the way to the t, a specific t, the Vt can be positive or negative, okay? And the Vt can also be positive or negative. That's another story. Right now, let's just consider everything's perfect and everything's fair, so we can just get these concepts under our belt. So the shortfall will be 0. The long assets, since it's long, right? So it will be S0. Borrow fund is a short position, so 0. Let's still cancel out. This is 0 because it's fair. You can't possibly enter into a forward contract, say short a specific forward, and at that 0 time you already earned money. Why would someone enter into a contract will grant you instant gain? Why would they do that? Because it's not fair. If they enter into the contract, they will instantly lose money because this contract is like a loss to them. They will not enter into the contracts. So we just assume, of course, in reality, someone may enter into the contract with you, but things we're just learning financial concept. So let's start from very, very simple scenario, okay? So this will be 0. This two cancel out will be 0. So it will be 0 plus 0 will be 0. Okay, so initially, you're doing all this kind of like anti-contract, borrow from bank, and buy a specific asset. That does not matter, because all this will just get you a 0 overall position. Okay, that will be our overall position. So, yeah, but why the heck are we going to enter into this position? Because, you know, for maybe for arbitrage, or maybe for the counterparty, maybe for, I don't know, maybe for hedge purpose, doesn't really matter, because um, we are going to use this kind of like point of view to look at the problem and to calculate a specific value when time moves to, say, time t. And yeah, let's just provide you with a new perspective of how the overall picture. Okay, so you borrow from bank, you or like a short a certain position, you buy asset, you long position, and you enter contract, you short forward, and all this will result in zero overall position. Okay, so it's completely covered. All right. So in the next video, I think I'm going to change this a little bit. Of course, you can pause this video and you can test yourself by like change this time. Okay, so this is time 0. What if we change the time to t? What would happen? And if you stand from the point of fair trading, can you just cancel everything out and just change the whole overall position and calculate that so it equals to 0? Can you do that? Okay, see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, it's learnfinance.com.